Oh, hello, I'm Miss Lawson. I'm the head of physics at St. Paul's Catholic School. I want to first say congratulations to all the GCSE physics students who applied for A-level physics and who are looking to study A-level physics. Well done. I also want to say a big thank you to you for handing in your step-up work. The work was really detailed and it shows your dedication and commitment to the course. And I'm here today to talk to you about the awe and wonder of physics and talk a little bit about what you are going to expect, what is going to make you a scholar, and what you're going to do at the end of the video. When I was in secondary school, I found that physics came naturally to me. I understood the concepts. It was natural. It made sense to me. I just thought about physics-related careers. So I thought about engineering, computing. I also thought about teaching and lecturing. And then towards the end of year 13, I then fine-tuned it to teaching physics. And I enjoy teaching physics because I'm able to impart the knowledge. And when I see students have that light bulb moment, that just makes my day. What is it that is going to make you a scholar in physics? The first thing you need to know is your intuition, common sense, talking about the best you that you can be. You also need to be consistent with your studies. Now, physics is notoriously known as a difficult subject, but it isn't. It needs consistency. It needs you to be on top of your reading. And you also should do some further reading. Okay, so coming into the lessons, going home, doing some extra reading around the subject, around the topic, and it gives you a very broad knowledge of reading. Because here at St. Paul's, we're here to educate the whole person, and so we don't really necessarily just focus on the curriculum. So I would advise that you do that. You also need to be able to think conceptually. You need to think about the big picture. You need to be able to make links. You should also brush up on your math skills if you're a bit rusty, because we need maths in physics to be able to solve problems. You should be an analytical person. You should just think through questions when you're answering them. You should chunk your questions up when you're answering them. And remember, you can do this. It's a course that you can get excellent grades with, and it's a course that you can be a scholar at. So finally, I want to talk about other things that we can do to enrich your experience here at St. Paul's. We have trips, and there's a yearly trip to CERN, Switzerland. Lockdown rules permitting, when things are open, that would go ahead. We also have a trip to the Cambridge University, where you get a chance of looking at different physics workshops in the university setting, and we have companies that are physics related, and they come and showcase their equipment and what they do, and that gives you an idea of what you can do. I would also say you should have fun with the course. We also have, for those of you who enjoy lectures, we have lectures, STEM lectures, that talk about astrophysics, talk about maybe topics that are not necessarily related to the curriculum but will be of interest to you, and lectures that will start talking about things that you might be doing in the university. Okay, so now we're going to speak to a couple of Year 12 students, and this will give you an insight of what studying A-level physics is going to be like when you turn up in September. Okay, so Tom, why then did you choose A-level physics to start with?
Well, I chose A-level physics because since about year 9 I've been really interested in physics and going on to study physics in the future, and to do that I needed A-level physics. So I chose to study it because it would be the most beneficial course for me in the future.
Nathan, you've nearly come to the end of your Year 12 A-level physics course, and it's been a journey, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a real journey.
At the end of year 11, I wasn't sure of what I wanted to do in the future, but A-level physics is like one of the most versatile courses you can do at this school.
Well, ever since about year 9, I've been really interested in physics, and not just sort of classical physics, but more of this sort of advanced and deeper stuff. And I felt that where I wanted to take my future was in physics, in a career in physics, and to do that I would need A-level physics to go on and study at university, hence why I chose A-level physics. I'd say it was more in depth, there's more content. It's not necessarily harder, it's just more detailed and requires just a little bit of extra thinking to understand it. It's not like you can go home and read it from a textbook. You actually need to revise and understand the content. You can't just win the exams.
I would say that your GCSE grade doesn't matter. You still have to revise.
My favourite part of physics is quantum mechanics. I find it fascinating studying the very small and the very big because they don't follow conventional laws. They have their own set of laws, they have their own rules, and I think that's really interesting as to why, because there's a limit of size where you follow classical physics and then you follow the bigger physics and then the smaller physics, and I just find that really interesting that different sized things and different scales follow their own rules. I find physics it's more than just, you know, dropping a ball. It's almost philosophical, and as Nathan was saying, we're looking at the Big Bang, which is currently the belief that's the beginning of everything. It's more philosophical content and it's a lot deeper than what you would imagine, and a lot of people have the sort of misconception that physics is, you know, it's sort of just, oh, it's just this, it's how balls roll, it's how this happens, how that happens. But it sort of explains why we're here, and I think a lot of people miss that concept, and studying A-level physics will really help enlighten you on that.
Physics is like one of the most versatile subjects. So if I wanted to, I could do anything from medicine to engineering, astrophysics, chemical engineering, you know.
I was looking through the university syllabuses, and it's got sections of what A-levels can get you onto what courses, and you were going through, you saw, you know, German, get you onto 1 or 2 courses, you know, English, get you on a fair few courses, physics went over 2 pages. You can take from anything from dentistry to veterinary science, theoretical physics, nuclear physics. It's not just physics, it's everything, because at the end of the day, physics is the fundamental root of all sciences. Chemistry, you know, just builds on physics, and biology builds on chemistry, and so on and so on. Everything comes back down to the concepts in physics, which can be applied in many different places.
There is a misconception that physics is all about maths. Is that true or false?
I would say that is a misconception, because physics is not really all about maths. It's really just using the physical concepts that you've learned during like year 12 and GCSE, and using your math skills and applying it to those concepts to, you know, problem solve and, you know, answer questions, you know. It's not really all maths, but I'm not gonna deny there is a lot of maths, but the maths that is in physics, it's not like difficult, it's mainly like multiplying, dividing, this, you know, logs, I would say might be like the most difficult thing you'll get. But you're given the equations, you shouldn't really worry too much about like the maths in physics. Well, that's from my experience at least.
Yeah. My experience is, as long as you know how to rearrange an equation, you'll be alright. Physics, there are calculations in, because physics is more of an explanation of maths and why things happen. So you're given the equation, and physics will explain why that happens. But like Nathan said, I wouldn't be scared of being bombarded with a load of maths, because yeah, you're going to have to do some calculations, but there are also some like really beautiful theories that coincide with that.
Tom, what makes physics the best science?
Physics is the best science because it's the root of all
What
science.
advice would you have for aspiring physicists who are in year 11 right now?
I would say take it seriously, revise, because A-level physics is not an easy A-level to do. But then I would also say, you know, have fun with it, don't stress about it too much.
It's not something like, you know, do your independent learning, make sure you revise, but also enjoy it. And if you've got a question, don't be afraid to go home and research it. We do lessons where we get up and we share research, and it's really interesting hearing about different people's passions, because you're going to be in a class which is a lot smaller and with a group of people who want to be there. Because in A-levels, all the people who don't want to be in that subject are filtered out, and you're left with people who have a passion for the course. So just enjoy it and embrace it, and you know, you'll find out that physics is a lot more fun than you realised.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing you in September, and I'm going to leave you with this. Remember, you can do this. There will be an activity for you to complete. Make sure you do it, submit it, and see you in September. Bye now.